Slutsha and howdy do buckaroos and how the heck are you? You know who I am. Mercy. How we doing? It's late on a Friday. I said news at 11 because, well, it's 11 o'clock. Ish. I'm not going to tell you anything any more erroneous than you're going to hear on your regular 11 o'clock news. And ain't that the shame of it all? Don't we miss Walter Cronkite back before Reagan made it legal for everybody to lie to me, and hence Fox News that people actually think is news when it's just nothing more than far right wing nutball propaganda. Anyways, how the heck are you? Got tomorrow off. I asked for tomorrow off because well, I'm going to say friend. I don't guess we're friends in the sense that we don't hang around together, but known him for a couple decades. It seems like great nationally known blues performer out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. Scott Ellison is coming to Springfield, Missouri tomorrow, so I hope my Springfield friends that can hear me or anybody in the neighboring towns will come out to Tie and Timber tomorrow for the show. It's at 7, so it's an earlier show than normal. And they're only charging, I can't believe the cover on this show because I know tickets usually go, 20, 25 or higher. For this particular performer, but they're only charging $5 at the door, which seems insane to me. But hey, I'm not complaining. I will go out there. He's just an incredible individual. You're going to hear bits of Chicago blues, maybe a hint of Delta. I think they mentioned on their website Oklahoma Boogie. You never know. He can play anything. He's just an amazing guitar player. Amazing writer, a great blues singer, but even more than that, he's just a great individual. So, anyways, I hope some of my friends can get out there for that. And I have a take the edge off of things beer before I get to my good stuff. Let's do that first, man. Oh, take the edge off beer. Oh, this stuff is horrible. It's what you drinking it, Tom. No, well, I've been trying to end it. I bought it because sometimes it's nice to have that inexpensive stuff around, but boy, it's harder to drink than I remembered it being. I hadn't had it in a few years. I picked it up at Trader Joe's, a simpler times lager. It really is difficult, man. It's difficult. 6.2%. Yeah, it is rougher than I remember it. They used to do a Pilsner, and they didn't have that available anymore. So I thought I'd finish up this last one, but I thought again, going back to the take the edge off motif, is I have in my decanter here. Let me show you this beautiful decanter that my wonderful daughter gave her dad. Myself, my daughter got this for me. It says Dad Choke Loading. She knows her dad well. So anyway, what I have in here though is Pinky Bend rested corn whiskey at 100 proof. So this is going to be my take the edge off cocktail here. And then I've got a couple good ones to drink with you. I'm just going to relax. And my pheasant mug is my right-handed mug because if I hold it with my left hand, you can't see the pheasant. I usually reserve this because of the style for most of my German styles, but I don't know that that's what it was meant for. I guess the shape kind of works for British or English styles as well. If you're one of those glass Nazis, if you're a glass Nazi, I guess that's better than being a Nazi. Or seems to be most of what the Republican Party is these days, just a whole lot of Nazi. Well, my wife and I were deciding where to go for our 30th anniversary this year. So, pick anywhere you want. We can go anywhere except for Texas or Florida because those Nazi bastards are not getting any of my money. Those Nazi fascists, bigoted, homophobic, transphobic sons of guns are not getting any of my cash. Ah. Keeping in mind, this is all I've had to drink so far. So these are these aren't the ramblings of a drug person. These are the musings of somebody that's tired of a whole lot of Nazi bullshit. Anyway, I'm gonna mellow out once I have this, so it's gonna take the edge off. I'm gonna relax. Oh, mercy. Yeah, I used to buy this a lot several years ago, and I remember kind of liking it, but boy, it's been hard to drink. Hey, Todd, how are you, brother? Hope you're doing all right. I mean, if you're ever at a point where you want to jump on, let me know, and I'll send you a link. If you want to have a virtual beer with me, or you could just send me some messages here and tell me what you're drinking, what you're up to. Anyway, I'm going to get through this one so I can get to my good stuff. Yeah, I have to. Had a good day at work. Got home late as my changed my life a little bit recently, but anyway, it's launching. All right, now we can get to the good stuff. So, unfortunately, this is another one. I thought I drank them all because it is a good beer. Martin City Brewing out of Kansas City. They have a few locations. They're doing some mighty fine products. Oh, that's all right, man. That's okay. I won't post that message. It'll be just between us. Yeah, you're usually still up and around about now. Well, I guess I am later than usual. Huh? Work till 10 on Fridays. I spent so many years of my life working an early shift all through, when our kids were little. I was, in some cases, I was working nights for a period of time, and then I was in early. I'd have to get up at 5 in the morning for a long time. That seemed to be ingrained in me to always be up early, but now I've kind of given up that early shift. Kind of done things a little backwards. Most folks become bartenders in their 20s. I waited till I was in my late 50s to become a bartender. But I'm really enjoying it. I'm enjoying what they allow me to do there. The people I've met a lot of great friends at one particular spot. Anyway, so I've got the Belgian Abbey Ale from Martin City Brewing out of Kansas City. 8% Abbey Ale. It did have a nice head on it when I poured, but it took a while. I had to take some pictures. It's taken a while to get this set up. But because of this style, I'm not concerned about it getting warm, right? This style is fine. You're going to be okay. It's not an ice cold beer. In fact, about 50, 55 is probably optimal. Martin City's doing some really great beers. I recently did a couple of coffee stouts again. I've had those since August, been trying to get rid of, man. No, I kind of forgot. They kind of got buried in a spot in the fridge and I couldn't find them. Oh, let me take the comment off. So anyway, I got this nice Abbey Ale. I think a little bug got in my beer, unfortunately, though. To set that down. So I did pour myself approximately about 3 ounces there. I put very nice, generous pork. So I wanted something good to kind of relax, take my time. Nothing I was going to hurry with for the rest of this video. Just wanted to get through that crappy stuff. So enough alcohol in my system to kind of, get everything to shut down a little bit, relax, get the nerves to calm down. Nah, it's not too bad. The truth is, I don't have anywhere near the stress that I had at the day gig that I've been holding on to for 5 years. Even though the last 2 years were not good, especially the last 6 months were just pure hell. But anyway, that's a story for another day. Switchgrass Spirits, American single malt whiskey. If you've watched me before, you know I've said this. I love this category. I don't know why. I've talked to a few bourbon drinkers that aren't a fan, and I just don't understand why, to be honest. It doesn't make sense to me. I love the American single malt whiskey. It's 100% malted barley, and I think that maybe that's part of it. I think a lot of Americans don't understand malted barley. It makes for a nice chewy spirit, so it's a little bit different. If you're a bourbon or even a Scotch or Irish whiskey drinker, it's just a little bit different. 100% malted barley at 92 proof, pot distilled, never sourced, non-chill filtered. Switchgrass Spirits out of St. Louis, Missouri. So I'm dying to get up there to visit this distillery. Just the couple times I've had planned to get up there, it's fallen through. So I'm hoping to get up there this year, though. Limited release, it says. Yeah, so I went up there in August. I bought this bottle in August, actually. I went back there and back to Kansas City in October, and it was nowhere to be found, unfortunately. So I've been kind of nursing the bottle, as you can see, because I've had it for a while, man. I've had it for a little bit. Anyway, tasting notes are chocolate, cherries, and fresh baked bread. You know, I love when they give me tasting notes, but I got to be honest. At first, when I looked at that, okay, that's pretty simple. But then I thought, well, I really like that because a lot of them will leave you 100 different things. This leaves a lot to the imagination. Chocolate, yes, but dark chocolate. Cherries, yes, but for me, I get nice dark cherries. Freshly baked bread, yeah, but for me, it's a brown bread, more like a pumpernickel. And there's other things going on, but it does make sense to keep those notes simple, right? Proudly Miss Western, aged no less than 2 years. So it's a young spirit, but it is really good. So anyway, I got myself a nice pour here. Nice friendly pour. That's a nice friendly pour. Oh, like I said, I'm off tomorrow, so I wanted to do one late video tonight after I got home from work, got some things organized. Oh, got off what about 10:20 when I finally clocked out. Got home, had to do a couple things. I had the video already set up through StreamYard, but I had to get my other stuff ready and take some pictures. Oh, I love the nose. So they again, I want to go back to just on the nose. They say chocolate, yes, but I'm going to put a finer point on it and say malted dark chocolate. They say cherries. Yes, again, I'm going to say more dark cherry notes. And they say fresh baked bread. Yes, I'm going to say yes, but for me, it's more of a pumpernickel. But so I'm going to add to that. So you're going to find some vanilla. You're going to find a lot of oak and some nice, well, almost like a baking spice mix. I encourage anybody watching me, if you got any questions or comments, please put it up there. I will answer almost everything. I used to say everything, but then I had a troll. So unless you're being a colossal asshat, I'm not gonna, I will put it up there. But if you're just being a jerk for the sake of being a jerk, no, I'm not gonna give you a platform. I'm just gonna ignore you. Aromas, flavors. I'll set that aside for a second. Oh God, those flavors are amazing. Wow, it is. Well, yeah, those flavors are amazing. But uh, I alluded to this earlier. The American single malt category, the malted barley is a little chewy. And that's one thing I love about this category and this particular whiskey is the mouthfeel, the viscosity. It does feel chewy. It's very pleasant. Oh, mercy. So they mentioned cherries, but I'm going to take it a little bit farther and say uh, almost overripe plum notes in there as well. And they don't mention any spice notes, but you will feel like almost a nice mix of baking spice and finish. A little bit of cinnamon, a little bit of allspice, some nutmeg. You might even find some ginger and clove in there. Depends on, you know, how much or how familiar you are with those spices. As I tell folks, you're not going to taste things you don't know. Again, anytime you're dealing with oak, a lot of folks want to just leave it out and say, okay, it's an obligatory, it's in there. But anytime you're dealing with oak, you're going to get some vanilla notes in there. So, but sometimes it's how it reacts to, everything else. Of the single malt, American single malt whiskeys that I've had, this is the youngest. But still, even though it's only a 2-year old or slightly over, it just feels gorgeous. A lot of these spirits, a lot of these whiskeys don't need to be aged as long as we're brought up to believe they need to be aged. So well, maybe it's just those of us of a certain age. It's ingrained that an older whiskey is always better, but that's not always the case, and it kind of depends on the whiskey itself, the category. I think that's probably true with a lot of single malt scotches. It's probably true with single malt Irish as well. But it's been proven not to be true with bourbon as a whole, as a category. There are some great bourbons that will age extremely well, but a lot of bourbons really peak at about 8 to 10 years. So you don't necessarily need a 21-year-old bourbon to compare to a 21-year-old single malt scotch. Sometimes an 8-year-old bourbon is absolutely perfect. It doesn't need to be aged longer than that. And I think that is true with this particular category of whiskey as well. Because where a 2-year-old spirit from the big guys may feel a little rough, here we have a small batch, a 2-year-old whiskey that really has the feel of a whiskey that's much older. What I mean by that is if somebody was to just hand me this whiskey, or quite frankly anybody this whiskey, I don't think anybody would think this is just a 2-year-old whiskey. I think some would think it would be a much older whiskey, 6 to 8 years, because how mature it drinks. I'm going to set that down because, wow, it is so easy to drink. I better work on some of this beer a little bit. I almost forgot it was there. Almost something got in my beer, man. anyway, I digress. Probably wouldn't hurt me much. I'm just, a little upset I drank my beer. Anyway, lunch it. Oh, I can smell those. Those are good. My wife just heated up some fries in the oven. Yeah, hand me one. Oh yeah, it's just bagged beer batter fries, but they smell really good here.
These are pale ale.
Is it pale ale beer batter fries? How about that? Yeah, not bad. I don't like ketchup. I'm kind of on the record for saying that. However, having said that, my wife recently found me some ketchup from Melendez. The brand is Melendez, and it's a spicy ketchup. Different spicy ketchup. There's a ghost pepper, a habanero, and jalapeno, and they're really good, man. So my issue is not necessarily ketchup per se; is this ketchup that has no flavor. I gotta tell you though, I like the jalapeno. I like the habanero, but that ghost pepper, holy crap! In a basket. I mean, that stuff is good, man. It is really good. Uh, Mercy. Yeah, Martin City, man, I really do like them. They're doing some great products. I brought several stuff, and because I had them all in a specific area in the fridge, where I thought I did, but then I ended up having to move some things, and I kind of forgot that I had to move some stuff. So the other stuff, the IPAs and the other things I bought from them, I drank, but I had the coffee stout, this Abbey Ale, that kind of got forgot about. I finally finished the coffee stouts. I had 3 of them, so I did a couple of videos and got rid of them. But I thought I had all the Abbey Ales drank until just a few minutes ago when I was getting ready to set this one up. I saw that and oh, huh. So I was going to pair with the Kansas City whiskey, which was the original intent, but then I decided to go with this St. Louis whiskey, which would have made more sense. But I was tired. I should have paired it with a Kansas City whiskey, but no, what was St. Louis? Ugh. Well, the first one I noticed when I got to my bar cart here was that switchgrass. I said, okay, I was kind of in the mood for it. I'm going to set that down for a second again and work on this whiskey. Oh, biscuits and gravy. So I mentioned some things earlier. I didn't mention some sweetness, though. You almost feel like you're picking up. Typically, I would say brown sugar, dark brown sugar, because you feel the molasses. But I'm not really feeling the brown sugar. I'm feeling more just molasses on the nose. And then really on that back end, when you really feel that sweetness, you really feel those molasses-like notes. And I think that's one thing I really love about, again, this American single malt category, this 100% malted barley. And I agree it's not for everybody, but I'm not sure why there are so many bourbon drinkers that just won't even give it a try. It just doesn't make sense to me. But this spirit is great. Another favorite of mine is from Union Horse out of Kansas City, the Rivalist. That whiskey is just insanely good. I've got another one here on my bar card, if you will, the Yellowstone from Limestone Branch out of Lebanon, Kentucky. It's at 108 proof, and it's just amazing as well. I've loved everyone I've had. And a lot of it is I'm enjoying the differences, right? That the interpretations that each particular distillery has for this spirit, I've really enjoyed quite a lot. Russell Spirits, I've had 3 different incarnations of their single malt whiskey that I've loved every one, and all 3 of them have been very different. Oh, mercy, Percy. Wasn't hungry till my wife sat down with those French fries. Now I need to end the damn video, get something to eat, and I wasn't expecting them to get done that fast. Anyway, now I'm hungry. Damn it! Anyway, it wasn't before. Now you see the difference in Tom from the beginning of this video to now. Now I got that edge off. Now I'm happy. Now I'm relaxed. Taking it easy. Just in love with the world. Just talking with a friend tonight about the news. He said he had to quit watching the news because it was just making him, stress out about everything. I said, I quit watching everything several years ago. We dropped the cable, quit watching, you watch all these cable news programs, you even watch your local news, and it's nothing more than propaganda these days. The whole purpose of the news is to get you frightened about something, worried about the price of this, the price of that, this happening, that happening. Um, What's going to happen is going to happen no matter how much you watch the news, no matter how much you fret about it. Unless you have a solution, unless you're doing something to combat it one way or the other, watching the news isn't doing you any good at all. It's designed to make you angry about something or somebody. That's partly why we have such a divide in this country, because somebody is always angry at something or somebody. Somebody, they want to make you afraid of somebody that's different than they are. So I just quit watching this shit. I've decided that whatever is going to happen is going to happen. If I have the ability to help make things better, I will certainly jump in and do that. But I'm not going to watch something that's going to make me fret about something that may not happen or most likely will not happen, in all honesty. Especially when most of it's coming from a slanted perspective. So if it's all gonna burn, hell, I'm just gonna open my best whiskey and sit on the porch until then, like that scene in 2012 with Woody Harrelson when it just takes me in. I'm gonna sit out there on my porch, drink my best whiskey until it all sucks me in. anyways, I digress. I'm gonna wrap this up. I am Tom, the beer whisperer, beer evangelist, prolific beer drinker, purveyor of wisdom, and I am also Tom, the whiskey whisperer. Why they call you Whisperer, Tom? But you got the horse whisperer, you got the dog whisperer, you got this whisperer, that whisperer. My nickname was given to me more ironically, because I'm not quiet about anything I do. It was like calling the fat guy like myself skinny, or the tall guy short. He was kind of in that vein. How did you end up as the whisperer? Well, that's kind of Anyways, I digress. I'm Tom the Whiskey Whisperer, whiskey evangelist, prolific whiskey drinker, purveyor of wisdom, and that's better. I feel better already, don't you? All around good guys, launch you.